Hello, good evening, SM viewers. This is Satellite Media. If you are new to the channel, kindly like, share, subscribe, and please do not forget to hit the notification bell. Let's look at this disturbing story. Of course, this one is coming from Zamfara and Katsina State, a situation where the two governors held meeting with a wanted, notorious bandit leader, talking about Ado Aleru. I'll be bringing you the highlights, and in the highlight of this conversation, we'll be watching 3 videos, and the videos I'll bring for you to watch has to do with 1, the bandit leader arrival at the venue of the peace meeting. You can clearly see him fully armed with his boys coming to the meeting. The second video has to do with the Zamfara State governor, who of course have lamented the limitation he can use to address the level of insecurity in the state, considering the command and control system of Nigeria's security architecture. And the last one has to do with the Ado Aleru himself, the bandit leader, who is seen, of course, addressing the gathering. But before going to the videos, to watch the videos, let me quickly bring you the news leading to all of this. I'm reading from Daily Post. It says, group condemns Zamfara Katsina governors for holding peace talks with wanted bandit leader. You go further to say that a civil society group, the Citizens for Equity and Justice Initiative, CEJI, has called out the governors of Zamfara and Katsina states over a widely criticized peace meeting held with Ado Aleru, a notorious bandit leader long declared wanted by security forces, urging the National Security Advisor Outrage to investigate the incident. The meeting held Saturday in Bichi Community, Dam Musa local government area of Katsina State was attended by traditional rulers, local government officials, representatives of Nigerian Army, and top officials from both sides. In widely circulated video footage, Aleru, who has a 5 million bounty on his head, was seen addressing the gathering, urging for peaceful coexistence between Fulani herders and farming communities. Aleru has been linked to countless acts of terror and bloodshed in the northeast, with human rights organizations accusing him of orchestrating mass killings, mass kidnapping, and the displacement of thousands. His re-emergence, not in handcuffs, but at center of state-sanctioned negotiations, has sparked outrage across the country. At this point, let me quickly say that it is worrisome seeing someone who has been declared wanted bearing arms, of course, coming to a meeting that was attended by state governors. You begin to wonder, in the same country where someone like Mazen Nadekalo, who have not been seen carrying gun, is under prosecution, you can clearly see some organized criminals having meeting with state government officials. And of course, let me quickly say at this point that if you are dealing with Fulani military, you should know that, particularly of Nigerian extraction, you should know that you are dealing with a formidable force. I will shortly bring you the video, the first video, talking about the arrival of the bandit leader, the Ado Aleru, to see how formidable, how armed he himself and his men were. Let me allow you to watch that first video before we further this conversation. So having watched that video, I will shortly bring you the video of the governor of Zamfara State lamenting the limitation of what he can do, considering the control and command system of Nigerian security architecture. But let us even ponder on this, because Nigeria is supposed to be a sovereign state that ought to have monopoly of coercive power over all its territorial integrity. And we are seeing this happening. And don't forget that when Mr. President visited Benue State recently, the tour of TV, why he addressed Mr. President, made it very clear that what they are witnessing in Benue has nothing to do with farmers-header clashes or a president attack. That is purely genocidal Fulani invasion. And let me quickly say at this point that even the governor of Plateau State echoed the same thing when we saw the killings in Bokos and Bassa local government area of Plateau State. So it got to show that there are a group of people who have been stationed, who are formidable, who are bent on sacking people from their ancestral homes, taking over their ancestral homes, killing and maiming and all that. And again, this takes us to the next video so that we hear directly from the governor of Zamfara State about his lamentation of the limitation of what he can do as a governor, considering the security architecture of the country. Listen to him as we come back to further this conversation.
What I'm curious about is a statement that you made in a recent TV interview where you said that you know where the bandits are in Zamfara.
Absolutely.
You know where they live.
Absolutely.
You know their parents, etc. Why have they not been apprehended?
Well, you see, this is some of the complication. Like I said earlier, these people are not foreigners. These people are Zamfara State indigenes.
The bandits?
Absolutely. They were born and bred in Zamfara State. So we live with them. We know who they are. It's a very straightforward thing. And we are the people that can take care of that. And that is why we're making a conscious effort to make sure security is given number one priority. But also, we look at other factors. What are those causes of insecurity? People are idle. Let me say this to you. Zamfara State is a population of about 6 million people. More than 70% of that population are young men and women. And these guys are idle, doing nothing. They don't go to school. So what do you expect? Crime to go on. So part of the reason, part of the measures to address those issues is to understand the root causes. And that is why we had to declare state of emergency in education to make sure these people are educated.
So you are welcome back. I will shortly bring you the video of Ado Aleru himself addressing the governor in a show of strength, because I see that's a show of strength. When you see a bandit, a wanted bandit for that matter, who have a bounty of 5 million on his head, coming to address a state governors, and you have a military personnel present, of course, we begin to wonder what type of society are we. We begin to wonder whether Fulani militias have taken over the country, because I don't think this will be acceptable in any part of the world, seeing someone who is a terrorist, of course, who have been declared wanted, who have been accused severally of killing, maiming, sacking communities, and the international community is aware of his operations, and you can clearly see him in the midst of governors, in the midst of traditional rulers, addressing the people. And let us not even forget the likes of Tony Bello, another notable bandit leader from Zamfara State, who of course the other time celebrated burning down a military vehicle, even though the military have said that they are closing in on him. That it's a matter of time he will be arrested. But up to today, as we speak, it's not on record that he has been arrested. And he keep wreaking havoc, issuing threats, sacking communities. And for me, it is unaccepted. And that is why we must, as a people, as a government, do everything within the ambits of the law to address this. And again, this brings me to the point where the government must tinker with the idea of restructuring, or if that is not feasible, of course, there's nothing wrong in self-determination and allowing people to go their separate ways. If the government do not have what it takes to address the level of security, if life cannot be protected by the security agencies, because as we speak, it's very clear that the welfare of the people and their security shall be the primary purpose of governance, going by section 14, subsection 2B of 1999 Constitution as amended. So if the government and the security agencies have not been able to deliver on this, then it means it's a purely failure of governance. So at that point, is it not better that we look at ways of maybe self-determination to enable people determine how best they want to protect themselves? Because life is sacrosanct. Life cannot be, life that is sacrosanct, we do not have what it takes to create life. So within everything that is possible to be done by human should be done to protect that life. And as we see that the Fulani military have no respect for human life, we have seen the senseless killing in Bokos and Basa local government area of Plateau State. We saw happen in Yelawa community in Plateau State, in Benue State. So we have seen different level of killing attributed, associated with the activities of Fulani military. But at this point, let me allow you to watch the bandit leader while he was speaking with the gathering, or rather speaking to the gathering, for you to have a sense of what we are discussing, to know that this is a very serious issue we have at hand. Watch and listen to him.
Sun turo mana sulhu, sun turo gwamna ya ce da shi za a, sannan shugaban kasa ma in da shi ake magana yanzu shi ma ya turo mana. Turan da muka zauna muka yi magana da matar da ya turo, an gaba ba mu sake ganin ta. Kaga halin yan Najeriya ke. To inda yanzu ba malamai bane wallahi ba mu. Allah ya sani. Wallahi darajar su mun kadiba mu zaka mu saurari abin da za su faɗa mu da mu ba mu yarda ba. Bakin iyakar saurare yanzu nan magana muka yi da ku an kaci an yarjejeniya alƙawalin Allah kuna mana kun ga girgi ya wuce ai an yarjejeniya kuna nan mana girgi ya wuce nan ya kaza yanzu nan ba a minti 30.
You are welcome back. At this point, I think we'll go on the street to get the reaction of Nigerians, what they are saying about this. Of course, the opinion of Nigerians is paramount in this very conversation. Let us get their reaction and bring it to you for you to know what they are saying about this. Record that I've said it, that we are going on the street to get the reaction of Nigerians, sequel to this disturbing story from Zamfara and Katsina State, where the bandit leader Ado Aleru was discussing with state governors in what looked like peace talk. But surprisingly, we are a sovereign state. Negotiating with bandits, Ben, how does it come to you?
I remember humble one and the only Biafran evangelist, and I will continue to speak the truth. Yeah, negotiating with the bandit, the one that the military or the federal government have already tagged 1/3. Now the state governors are now negotiating peace with him. It sounds so funny and it sounds so. It means that the state government are now partnering with the criminal, and moreover, they are the ones sponsoring him. That is what it means. In other hand, that means what it means again, that that state should be regarded as a terrorist state if the governor could be negotiating. So that state should be seen as a terrorist state, and the Sidious Musa, the military chief, should not just relax or relent in that. That state should be looked into, and the president himself should as well put eye on that state, because these are the people behind what has been happening in Nigeria. That is what it means.
Okay, now let us look at the arrival of the bandit leader. He came with the retinue of his aides, fully armed with vehicles. How does it come to you?
You see what I am saying? That means, I'll quote and unquote, the former military head of state before, in person of late Sani Abacha, I've already said it. Any insurgency that lasted more than 24 hours, there is something somewhere that is putting on the fire. What is that? He said that. What does that mean? That means the government is involved. How can you, a bandit, have a vehicle with your team, with your group, well equipped? You have the infantry to drive it freely on the streets, in a state, down to the place of negotiation, with the state governor. No fear.
And surprisingly, even military had a representative in that meeting.
That means you agree with me with what I have been saying before, that Nigerian military is no longer Nigerian military, but what we have now is Nigerian terrorist group.
But are we saying that Fulani military is now more powerful than Nigeria?
That is, don't say are we saying, that is what it is. We don't have military again. What we have now is terrorist military. That is what it is. We don't have military. Nigeria doesn't have anything called military. What we have now is bandit military. And that is why you see bandits doing what they are doing effectively and successfully, without any challenge, without any contest, not even from the military, nor the police, nor the DSS, nor any uniform arm in Nigeria. Do you see president saying anything? Do you see any match from the president in regard to that, to counter them, to fight them, to stop them? No. You see that anytime that we tell you banditry. Who is banditry? Who are these banditry? Are they not human beings? Didn't they have a name?
Now let us look at the frustration.
Are they not living somewhere?
Let us equally look at the frustration of
Zamfara. Are they bird? Are they animal? Are they tree? Are they breeze? But I leave that thing.
Zamfara governor in the interview, which my viewers have actually watched, is saying that these bandits are from Zamfara, that they know them, they are born there, that they even know where they stay in the bushes, in the forest, but that the problem is that there is a limit to what you can do as a governor, considering the nature of Nigerian security architecture that has the command and control system from Abuja.
Now listen, and listen good. You see, the man is saying that he knows where they are living. Then you allow them to operate illegal. Now I want to put...
You didn't hear the second part. He said there's a limit to what he can do, considering his power, that his power is limited in terms of how to control the security.
It's talking nonsense. To me, it's talking nonsense.
Now let me tell you what he's trying to say.
What is he trying to say?
Number one, that he does not command the commissioner of police in his state. Two, that he does not command the director of DSS in his state.
Then let those ones do the needful then.
And that's why he's saying that there's a limit to what he can do as an individual because of the command and control system of Nigerian security architecture.
Now that is, you are still saying the same thing. What the point I'm making is that he's a foolish person. Let him do that.
Be watchful, be mindful of your words.
Listen to me, listen to me. We are talking about something that is not, that is not moral in the society.
No, be civilized with your language.
In the country. Listen to me and listen good. Let him as a governor do what he can do within his own capability. Then let the federal government, police or whatsoever, uniform men, do the remaining one, which they're supposed to do. But a situation whereby he himself did not take any step, neither the government taking any step, that means both the states and the federal government have become a terrorist and a bandit people.
But let me even tell you
what it is.
Let me even bring it to your knowledge. In Nigeria, for you to import or procure AK-47, AK-49, sophisticated weapons, you need an user certificate that comes from the Office of National Security Advisor. Without that, even after importing it, you cannot deploy it for operation. We saw Amateku that could not deploy such level of arm because of they could not get such certificate from the Office of National Security Advisor. Because so I'm going to bring to your knowledge,
my brother.
I'm going to bring to your knowledge why the man is handicapped.
The man is handicapped. Then that security office. But there is an office
of the
National Security Advisor
that work directly with the president.
That work directly with the president, who have the right to issue
such certificate.
Then they now issue that certificate to bandits, to terrorists.
No, let us get it straight. Nobody's saying that they gave bandits a terrorist certificate. They are bearing the arm illegally.
That means if they are bearing it illegally, that it is the same people, that office should stand up and do the right thing. That is the area I'm going.
Nobody's saying they should not do the right thing, but the question here is,
but they have not done it, and they are
the governor who go by the name of the governor and the chief executive officer of the state. He's saying that there's limit to what he can do because the power to command the security architecture is not in his hands.
Since it's not in his hands, let him now lay a report. You don't need to negotiate. That is the area I'm going. He don't have to negotiate with these people. Let him report these people to the rightful source who have the right to do what? To carry out activities against these people. And in a situation whereby this people, that office has failed to do that after reporting, that means that office is partnering with those people.
The office you are mentioning is not unaware.
It's not unaware. Then let them know.
Because the former governor of Zamfara State currently is the Minister of Defense for states.
See, my brother, forget the English we are speaking here. It is very, very simple. If you notice, is it not the statement of Nigerian police? When you see something, say something. Is it not Nigerian police that said it? It's one of their slogans. See something, say something. Then, Mr. Governor, you have seen something.
Safety language.
Even as that, yes. He said, Governor, you have seen something. You don't need to negotiate with what you see. Since that thing is beyond your limit or what you can control, then why don't you say something? How do I mean by saying something? Report it to the higher chamber or to the office that is recommended that is supposed to handle that situation.
Offices you are mentioning, they are not unaware. They know.
That means they know.
But that brings me to the question that came from the retired military intelligence officer that vented his frustration, of course, according to him, that those terrorists, bandits, they have sponsors, and that their ultimate aim is to Islamize Nigeria. And again, he did mention that it is difficult to deal with them. He said under Buhari self, that some of sponsors that were mentioned, they're already governors.
See, my brother, stop beating about the bush.
Where is the bush here?
Take the matter
you
straight.
The bush here?
You are trying to play games here, play politics here.
Where do you see bush here?
It is straightforward statement and action. There are offices that have the audacity to permit them to use gun, and there are offices that will, if those offices do not permit them to use gun, there is another offices that will stand up to go against them for acquiring those arms illegal. Then since those people are aware of all this and they did not do anything and they have not done anything up till now, that means they themselves are partnering with this bandit. That is exactly the place I'm pointing.
Okay, now seeing that allegedly both people in government are complicit, what do we do?
And what we have to do now is this. Like I said, as a nation, since you people cannot restate governor, as you said, that the governors sponsoring them, people sponsoring them are already governors, then they are not qualified to be governor of those states. What did the federal government has to do, and what did the president himself and attorney general has to do? They need to come up with something.
Some people have said divide the country.
I'm coming.
So that those who want to protect themselves can do so.
Hold on. These governors are not supposed to be governors. If their hand is involved, they are not qualified to be a governor of any state. Notwithstanding, and if this, that the offices that are supposed to go against them is not going against them, then there is no need of me and you answering Nigeria. I've been saying it, one Nigeria is a scam. Then let those who want to Islamize Nigeria with their agenda, and I'm saying this and I will continue to say it, and that was why there are governors, they are in position to protect those bandits, so that the bandits will be doing all manner of incessant killing that they have been doing. As you can see, nobody is saying anything. But if it's an Igbo man, then the law will now go against Igbo man. But the law doesn't go against the Fulanis in Nigeria. My beloved brother, to cut the tail of the lion, let's go straight and hit the knee on his head. Everybody should go their separate ways so that you can have your self-defense. Anybody that come from anywhere into your own region, the person will have a question to answer.
Okay, now let us go to another area. Thank you for your time. This is Aleri and Mr.